Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a world where success is no longer a distant dream, but a reality within your grasp. What separates those who achieve greatness from those who don't? Let's find out today. What if I told you that the only difference between the 2% who succeed and the 98% who don't lies in one simple yet powerful shift? Today, we uncover the truth that will change everything you thought you knew about success. The few who rise to extraordinary success possess a secret, and that secret lies in their ability to imagine. The 2% understand that imagination is not a fanciful escape, but the very foundation of reality itself. They dare to assume in the privacy of their minds that they already possess their desires. Think about it. Most people live as slaves to external circumstances, waiting for proof before they believe. The 98% are like sailors adrift, hoping the winds of fate will blow them to success. But the 2%, they chart their course from within, knowing that the external world is merely a reflection of the internal state. The essence of success lies not in sheer willpower, but in the power of imagination. Most people believe that working harder or forcing circumstances to align with their goals is the key to achievement, but this is a flawed approach. Willpower, while admirable, is limited by the constraints of external effort. Imagination, however, knows no boundaries and is the true driving force behind all extraordinary accomplishments. Imagination allows an individual to transcend their current reality and mentally inhabit the state of their desired future. It is this ability to vividly see, feel, and believe in a reality that does not yet exist that sets the successful apart. The mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined scenario and an actual experience. This is the secret to why imagination is so powerful. By consistently immersing oneself in the feeling of having already achieved the desired goal, the individual aligns their thoughts, emotions, and actions with this imagined state, effectively shaping reality to reflect it.
Reliance on willpower alone can be exhausting. Willpower demands constant effort and struggle, often leading to frustration when results are delayed. Imagination, in contrast, operates effortlessly and works behind the scenes.
Those who succeed understand that the creative process is initiated in the mind first. They do not push against circumstances or try to force outcomes. Instead, they assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, knowing that this mental assumption will naturally bring about the necessary changes in their external world. The limitation of willpower is that it is reactive. It deals with what already exists. Imagination, however, is proactive. It creates what is yet to be. Many people spend their energy trying to fix or overcome their present conditions, using willpower to fight against what they don't want. This approach often leads to a cycle of resistance and struggle. The 2% who succeed bypass this struggle by focusing entirely on their desired outcome and living in the assumption that it is already theirs. For example, an individual using willpower to succeed might work tirelessly, hoping to overcome obstacles through sheer determination. While effort is important, without the guiding vision of imagination, this work lacks direction and alignment. Conversely, someone guided by imagination begins with a clear mental picture of their desired result. They do not just act, they act with the confidence and ease of someone who knows the outcome is inevitable. Success is not about forcing your way through life, but about flowing with the creative power of your mind. Imagination is the tool through which you claim your desires, making them as real in your inner world as they will soon be in the outer. Those who understand this truth focus their energy inward, creating their success mentally before it manifests physically. This is why imagination is far superior to willpower and why the 2% rely on it to achieve what the majority only dream of. Success hinges on the ability to trust in the unseen reality of one's desires. This principle separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who remain trapped in doubt and indecision. The 2% who succeed understand that reality begins within. They cultivate faith in their mental vision long before it materializes in the external world. Most people operate under the belief that they must see something to believe in it. They require tangible evidence before they can commit their thoughts or emotions to a desired outcome. This approach is backward. Reality is not something that happens to you, it is something that responds to you. The successful recognize this truth and live with an unshakable faith in the unseen, knowing that their focused imagination and belief will inevitably manifest in physical form. The majority, the 98%, allow their current circumstances to dictate their mindset. They observe what is and react to it, reinforcing the cycle of limitation. For them, doubt creeps in when results are not immediate. They start to question whether their efforts are worthwhile, whether their dreams are achievable, or whether they are deserving of success. This wavering faith weakens their ability to create as their focus shifts from their desires to their fears. The 2% approach life differently. They understand that faith is not passive, but an active state of knowing. It is the conviction that what they imagine is as real as anything they can touch or see. This faith in the unseen is not blind optimism. It is a deliberate and practiced trust in the power of their consciousness. They do not waver because they understand the universal principle as within, so without. What they hold firmly in their minds must reflect outwardly in their experience. Faith in the unseen requires a willingness to persist in the face of apparent contradictions. The 2% do not rely on external validation to sustain their belief. They understand that the physical world is a lagging reflection of their inner state, and they are patient enough to allow time for their visions to materialize. This patience is not passive waiting, but an active state of anticipation, marked by gratitude and confidence that their desires are already fulfilled in the mental and emotional realm. Doubt is the greatest enemy of success. It weakens resolve, scatters focus, and erodes the energy needed to sustain belief. The successful counteract doubt by constantly affirming their vision, feeling the reality of their desires, and redirecting their attention whenever fears arise. They know that what they feed with their thoughts and emotions grows, so they choose to nurture faith over fear. This unwavering faith in the unseen is not an extraordinary talent, but a disciplined practice. Anyone can cultivate it by consistently choosing to believe in their vision, regardless of external circumstances. The 2% succeed because they trust the process, remain focused on their inner reality, and allow their faith to bridge the gap between imagination and manifestation. The success of the 2% is rooted in their ability to practice persistent mental discipline. While the majority let their thoughts wander aimlessly, influenced by external circumstances, the successful are deliberate and focused in aligning their minds with their goals. This mental discipline is not about suppressing thoughts, but about consistently redirecting them toward the desired outcome, regardless of distractions or challenges. For most people, their mental energy is scattered. They dwell on fears, doubts, and frustrations, allowing these negative patterns to dominate their thoughts. This lack of control over their inner world creates a cycle where their external reality reflects chaos and unfulfilled desires. They may briefly focus on their goals, but quickly lose momentum when faced with difficulties, reverting to old patterns of thinking that keep them stuck. The 2% understand that success begins within and that the mind is the engine driving all outcomes. They cultivate a disciplined practice of controlling their thoughts and emotions, ensuring that their inner state aligns with the reality they wish to create. This discipline requires consistency. It's not a one-time effort, but a daily commitment to maintain focus, even when results are not immediately visible. Mental discipline involves choosing thoughts deliberately. The successful guard their minds like a fortress, allowing only ideas that support their vision to take root. They practice awareness, catching themselves when doubts or negative thoughts arise and quickly replacing them with affirmations of faith and success. They understand that what they focus on expands, so they consciously choose to dwell on what they want, not what they fear. This discipline extends to emotions as well. The 2% know that emotions are a powerful force in shaping reality. They do not allow external events to dictate their emotional state. Instead, they generate feelings of confidence, joy, and gratitude, embodying the emotional experience of their desired outcome. By doing so, they align themselves vibrationally with success, making it inevitable. Persistent mental discipline also involves imagination. The successful make it a habit to visualize their goals daily, seeing and feeling their desires as already accomplished. They rehearse success in their minds until it becomes a natural state of being. This practice strengthens their belief and keeps their focus unwavering, even in the face of temporary setbacks. The difference between the 2% and the 98% is not intelligence or talent, but the ability to consistently direct their thoughts toward their goals. The masses let their minds react to circumstances, while the successful take control, shaping their inner world to reflect the reality they wish to see. This discipline creates a sense of inner stability, allowing them to persist with confidence and clarity no matter what challenges arise. Through mental discipline, the 2% achieve what seems impossible to others. They understand that the mind is the foundation of all success and that by mastering their thoughts and emotions, they master their lives. This practice of persistence and focus is the key to transforming desires into reality. The distinction between focusing on inner assumption and outer effort is a defining factor in why the 2% succeed while the 98% do not. Many people approach the success as a matter of working harder, grinding endlessly, and forcing outcomes through sheer determination. While effort has its place, it is secondary to the power of inner assumption, the act of embodying the state of success internally before it is realized externally. Most individuals exhaust themselves by prioritizing external actions without aligning their inner state with their goals. They believe that by doing more, putting in longer hours, tackling endless tasks, or chasing opportunities, they will achieve their desires. However, this approach often leads to burnout, frustration, and a sense of futility, especially when their results fall short of expectations. The problem is not the lack of effort, but the absence of a clear internal alignment with the desired outcome. The 2% who succeed operate differently. They understand that external actions are merely an extension of their inner state. Before taking action, they assume the feeling of already being the person who has achieved their goal. This inner assumption creates a mental and emotional state that naturally guides their actions, making them purposeful and effective. Instead of working harder, they work smarter because their actions are driven by clarity and conviction, not desperation or fear. Assumption is not wishful thinking, it is a deliberate and practiced state of belief. When a person assumes a desire as already fulfilled, they shift their identity and consciousness to match that of their envisioned self. This shift creates a resonance with opportunities, ideas, and resources that align with their goal. In this way, success becomes a natural outcome of who they are, not just what they do. Focusing on outer effort alone often keeps people trapped in a reactive cycle. They respond to circumstances, try to solve problems externally, and get caught up in endless to-do lists, all while their inner state remains one of doubt, worry, or inadequacy. This misalignment creates resistance, making it harder to achieve their goals no matter how much effort they put in. The successful bypass this struggle by prioritizing inner work. They understand that their outer reality mirrors their inner world. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, they create a mental blueprint that the external world begins to reflect. Their actions are then inspired, flowing naturally from a place of confidence and clarity rather than force or struggle. This approach does not mean abandoning effort altogether, but aligning it with inner belief. When assumption guides effort, every action carries greater power and purpose. The 2% succeed because they focus first on becoming a person who has already achieved their goals internally. They let this new identity drive their choices, behaviors, and habits, ensuring that their outer efforts are always aligned with their desired outcome. Success is not achieved by effort alone, but by the alignment of one's inner state with their desired reality. Inner assumption is the foundation that makes every external action meaningful and effective, paving the way for consistent achievement. The difference between the 2% who succeed and the 98% who do not often comes down to how they handle fear versus how they cultivate confidence. Fear is a natural response to uncertainty, challenges, and the unknown, but it is also the greatest barrier to success. The 98% allow fear to dominate their thoughts, emotions, and actions, keeping them trapped in a cycle of hesitation, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. The 2%, however, understand that confidence is not an absence of fear, but a mastery over it. Fear is rooted in focusing on what could go wrong, what might be lost, or what challenges might arise. It causes individuals to magnify obstacles and diminish their belief in their ability to overcome them. For the 98%, this leads to paralysis, inaction, or half-hearted efforts. They play it safe, avoid risks, and settle for less than they desire because their fear convinces them that failure is more likely than success. This mindset creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, as their lack of boldness prevents them from taking the steps necessary to achieve their goals. In contrast, the 2% approach fear differently. They acknowledge its presence, but do not allow it to dictate their decisions or actions. Instead, they focus on cultivating confidence by aligning themselves with their vision and trusting in their ability to bring it to fruition. Confidence for them is not about having all the answers or guarantees, but about a deep belief that they are capable of adapting, learning, and succeeding no matter the circumstances. Confidence arises from a clear vision and consistent alignment with that vision. The successful direct their thoughts and emotions toward the outcome they desire rather than dwelling on potential failures. They use imagination to see themselves as the person who has already succeeded, creating a sense of certainty and familiarity with their goal. This mental rehearsal builds an inner assurance that strengthens their resolve and diminishes the power of fear. The 2% also understand that fear thrives on inaction. When fear arises, they counteract it by taking deliberate steps, no matter how small, toward their goal. Each action reinforces their confidence, proving to themselves that they can move forward despite uncertainty. This momentum builds over time, gradually replacing fear with a sense of empowerment and control. Another key difference is the way the successful interpret challenges. While the 98% see obstacles as confirmation of their fears, the 2% view them as opportunities for growth and learning. They embrace setbacks as part of the journey, using them to refine their strategies and strengthen their commitment. This perspective prevents fear from gaining a foothold, as they see every experience as contributing to their ultimate success. The 2% succeed because they make a conscious choice to cultivate confidence over fear. They understand that fear is a signal, not a stop sign, and that their ability to persist with belief and action is the true measure of success. By mastering their inner world, they rise above the doubts and limitations that hold others back, turning fear into fuel for achievement. The key to why the 2% succeed lies in their ability to assume a new identity aligned with their desired outcome. Identity is the core of who you believe yourself to be, and it governs your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Most people remain tied to their current or past identity, limiting their potential. They define themselves by their circumstances, their history, or their perceived shortcomings, and as a result, their actions and results remain consistent with this self-concept. In contrast, the successful consciously adopt the identity of the person they wish to become, creating a reality that aligns with their vision. Identity is powerful because it shapes how you see the world and your role within it. For the 98%, their identity is often rooted in fear, inadequacy, or limitation. They say things like, "I'm not capable, I've never been successful before," or "this is just who I am." These statements reinforce a self-concept that keeps them stuck. Even when they set goals, their internal belief system sabotages their efforts because their actions are inconsistent with how they see themselves. For example, someone who identifies as unlucky may work hard toward a goal but subconsciously expect failure. And this expectation influences their choices and outcomes. The 2% understand that to change their results, they must first change their identity. They begin by imagining the version of themselves who has already achieved their goal. They ask, "Who do I need to become to have this success?" And they assume that identity in their thoughts, emotions, and actions. If their goal is to be a successful entrepreneur, they do not see themselves as someone trying to start a business. Instead, they see themselves as a thriving entrepreneur and act accordingly, even before external success is visible. Adopting a new identity is not about pretending or denying reality. It's about aligning your inner state with your desired outcome. The successful recognize that their outer world will eventually reflect their inner transformation. By consistently embodying the mindset, habits, and emotions of their future self, they create a resonance that draws experiences, opportunities, and results that match their new identity. This process requires consistency and self-awareness. The 98% often revert to their old identity when faced with challenges because it feels familiar and safe. The 2%, however, persist in their new self-concept even when doubts arise or results are delayed. They remind themselves that identity shapes reality and that by staying aligned with their vision, they are actively creating their future. Changing identity also involves letting go of limiting beliefs. The successful challenge thoughts like I'm not good enough or I've never done this before, replacing them with empowering beliefs that support their new self-concept. They surround themselves with environments, people, and habits that reinforce their desired identity, making it easier to maintain this transformation. Success is not about what you do, but who you believe yourself to be. The 2% succeed because they assume the identity of their future self and live from that state, allowing their actions and outcomes to flow naturally from this transformation. The success of the 2% lies in their ability to consistently direct their attention toward their desires, while the 98% falter by focusing on their lack, fears, or frustrations. Attention is a creative force where it is placed, energy flows, and results follow. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not a matter of resources or circumstances, but the disciplined use of attention to shape reality. For most people, their attention is scattered and reactive. They allow external conditions to dictate their thoughts, becoming preoccupied with what is missing in their lives or what might go wrong. This focus on lack perpetuates more of the same as the mind amplifies whatever it dwells upon. If someone consistently thinks, I don't have enough money, their attention reinforces that reality, drawing experiences that match this mindset. This cycle of focusing on what they lack traps the 98% in a pattern of struggle and unfulfilled desires. The 2%, however, take control of their attention and direct it toward their goals and desires. They understand that attention acts like a magnifying glass, intensifying and bringing clarity to whatever it is placed on. By consistently focusing on the end result they wish to achieve, they create a mental and emotional state that aligns with their desired reality. This alignment sets into motion the circumstances, ideas, and opportunities needed to manifest their goals. One of the key practices of the successful is to ignore appearances that contradict their desires. They refuse to let temporary setbacks, challenges, or delays shift their focus. Instead, they maintain their attention on the outcome they are working toward, knowing that the external world will eventually conform to their inner vision. This unwavering focus allows them to persist where others give up, as they draw strength and inspiration from the mental image of their fulfilled desire. Directing attention toward desires also involves cultivating positive emotions. The 2% do not merely think about their goals, they feel them as if they are already achieved. They generate emotions of gratitude, joy, and confidence, which amplify their focus and create a sense of certainty. This emotional alignment reinforces their vision and attracts corresponding experiences into their lives. For the 98%, distractions and negative thoughts are constant obstacles. They may briefly focus on a goal, but soon shift their attention to doubts, fears, or complaints about their current situation. This inconsistency dilutes their creative power, making it difficult to generate momentum toward their goals. The successful overcome this by practicing mental discipline, redirecting their thoughts whenever they notice them strain toward negativity. The power of attention is not about ignoring reality, but choosing what aspect of reality to emphasize. The 2% succeed because they consciously direct their focus to what they want rather than what they lack. By doing so, they harness their mind's creative ability to shape their experiences, ensuring that their desires become their reality. This deliberate focus is the foundation of their success and the reason they achieve what others only dream of. The 2% who succeed understand the profound connection between belief and action. They recognize that belief is not merely a passive acceptance of an idea, but the driving force behind inspired and consistent action. In contrast, the 98% often act without fully believing in their goals or hesitate to act because they lack belief in their abilities, leading to inconsistent results or outright failure. Belief is the foundation of all achievement. It shapes how individuals perceive opportunities, challenges, and themselves. For most people, doubt undermines their actions. They may have ambitious goals, but harbor limiting beliefs like, this might not work, or I'm not good enough. These inner doubts manifest in half-hearted efforts or procrastination, creating a self-reinforcing cycle where their lack of results confirms their initial disbelief. The 2% approach belief differently. They cultivate an unshakable conviction that their desires are not only possible but inevitable. This belief fuels their actions, making them purposeful, persistent, and resilient. They act not from a place of uncertainty, but with the confidence of someone who knows the outcome is already secured. Their belief transforms their actions into powerful expressions of their inner certainty, allowing them to achieve what others deem impossible. When belief and action align, they create momentum. The successful understand that belief inspires action and action reinforces belief. Every step they take, no matter how small, serves as evidence that their goal is within reach. This positive feedback loop strengthens their conviction, enabling them to maintain focus and effort even when challenges arise. The 98%, however, often wait for external validation before committing fully. They want proof that their efforts will pay off before they invest their energy or trust the process. This cautious approach leads to hesitation and inconsistency, as their lack of belief causes them to waver at the first sign of difficulty. The 2%, in contrast, act boldly and consistently because their belief is rooted within, not dependent on external circumstances. Belief also shapes the quality of actions. When someone acts from a place of doubt, their efforts are often scattered, hesitant, or driven by fear. The successful, guided by belief, act with clarity and purpose. They approach challenges with creativity and determination, seeing them as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles to avoid. This mindset allows them to persist where others might give up, ensuring they stay on the path to success. Another crucial aspect is how belief aligns with identity. The 2% do not see their goals as separate from who they are. They believe they are the kind of person who achieves what they desire. This self-concept drives their behavior and decision-making, ensuring their actions are always consistent with their vision. The 2% succeed because their belief and action operate as one. They know that belief without action is wishful thinking, and action without belief is aimless effort. By harmonizing these two forces, they create a powerful synergy that turns their desires into reality, achieving success where others falter. Success is not reserved for the chosen few or dictated by circumstance. It is a matter of principles and mindset, accessible to anyone willing to adopt them. The distinction between the 2% who rise and the 98% who remain stagnant lies not in talent, resources, or luck, but in how they think, believe, and act. The 2% succeed because they embody faith in the unseen, discipline their minds to focus on their desires, and align their inner identity with the life they wish to create. They act with unwavering confidence, even in the face of challenges, knowing that their belief shapes their reality. They prioritize vision over fear, persistence over doubt, and alignment over mere effort. The question is not whether success is possible, it always is. The question is whether you are willing to step into the mindset of the 2%, to take control of your thoughts, trust in your vision, and live from the conviction that you are already the person you aspire to become. The path to success begins within you. Align your mind, your emotions, and your actions with your highest aspirations, and you, too, will join the 2% who achieve what others only dream of. The choice is yours. Thank you.